how do we make each other laugh?
Well, that we have our skills, our trade, our craft that we've worked on professionally has been about telling stories in all different kinds of mediums. So when we set upon, we're going to go somewhere and try and figure out what kind of story we want to tell and how to tell it, the easiest thing is like, oh, well, it's great. Now we have YouTube these days.
Yeah.
Not just us, but like, the world and things like YouTube and the technology to put it all together, that what we realized what we didn't want to do was just do journalism of this is us in China.
Yeah.
So to figure out how to tell these little just jokes as exercises
and
for our bigger project, when we do our series, like when we're trying to figure out how do we write scenes that are 5 minutes long with a bunch of people, like these are the practice pieces of putting them together.
Yeah.
Going like, hey, that joke that you just said, that one sentence was really funny. What if we put 4 other sentences with it?
Yeah.
And then put a camera over here.
Yeah, and I would say it short circuits the part of your brain that goes, but should you really bother? Because you don't take time to think of it. Like, so I'm not an artist, but this is how I've kind of been thinking of it in my head, of like, gesture drawing just gets your eye and your hand moving to like what you're seeing and thinking about, and like gets that image on the paper. It's maybe not the most accurate, and it's maybe not the best work you've ever done, but it gets you doing that work, and it like starts to automate connections of like, you don't have to think about elbows so much anymore.
Yeah.
Is that accurate?
I would say it definitely is, because you can look at, if you're looking at a real master, somebody who really has either the experience or just the flat out raw talent, whatever, that they can do it when they're young. If you look at people's sketchbooks, most people, like, it is that rough. Like, it is like, an elbow is like this, and you're like, well, what are you doing there? I'm trying to figure out the elbow. I'm gonna have to, and you start to erase it here, and you have an elbow there, and you erase it there, and you can watch on somebody's work of where, if they're using pencil, it's probably eraser marks, or if they're using pen, like it's just, you're really light sketching. And that arm is going down and down. Yeah. With a master, you can actually see that they take one line and gesture draw. Yeah. And you're like, oh my God, this is like, I can see the body of like a Rembrandt sculpture where like every muscle is defined with one line. Like, how did you get that one line over here also to show me how ribs are done?
Yeah, like, and I think it seems like, as in any discipline, learning Chinese or any language, or even Rubik's Cube, there's a difference between the moves I know all the moves, but there are still some I have to step by step go through, and there are some that I'm just like, I can automatically just do it because it's instinct. We've got instinct, and so I feel like this quick turnaround is kind of a more instinctual way of filmmaking and joke telling, and so maybe it's not going to result in our masterpiece, but it's going to help us pursue our masterpiece. Yeah,
it's a matter of honing your skills with those sketchbooks, being able to figure out, like, at some point you get enough where you don't make all those extra arm marks, and you start getting, and then you can get faster to the actual project that you're doing beyond a sketch. If you can, like, get your
faster is the word, because if you have to take time to think of, like, okay, the arm, I need these components, then you're just going to spend a long time drawing an arm. Whereas if that's automatic, then you've got the arm and you can add the details that you want.
Right, because you know the vocabulary that you're using, you know what you're trying to define, and that's experience. Like, I mean, like, this is like I don't know how to play keyboards, but I can sound like I know, and I can talk to you while I'm doing it, and I can sound like I'm playing a solo as I speak, because I've done it enough times that I know that these chords go with these notes if I play them at a certain rhythm, and I can sing along with them. So it's honing your craft so that you can get to telling a story better, and I think that's one of the things I'm most excited about is,
because again, we're not giving up on scripting things out or planning things out or working on stuff over time.
We're going from where
this is an additional tool.
We were taking some what we know from working in journalism of, like, let's go to a restaurant and we'll show you the food that we eat, and we'll tell you a little bit about the food, and we'll do a little bit of looking up on the internet and where did this spice come from, or going from that and like what I know about photography and videography and storytelling through sequential art to tell that basic story. We did that, and it wasn't really that fun. But it helped us with all of our skills, to put all those skills together. So now we're actually taking those skills and we can make that quick sketch.